Well, this is the Isuzu D-Max SX dual cab chassis. It's part of the SX range, which is the closest competitor to Toyota's dominant HiLux in the two-wheel drive workhorse market, where traditionally there's a real focus on minimising costs, from initial purchase price to fuel economy to servicing. As a result, Isuzu have developed a thrifty alternative to its 3-litre turbo diesel in the form of this smaller 1.9-litre version. Now, for the past 3 months, I've been putting it to the test and gathering some clues to answer two really important questions in this video. Does it provide a significant reduction in costs without a similar drop in workhorse capability? And should you buy one? The SX 1.9 dual cab chassis 4x2 comes in one specification. It's a purebred workhorse with fridge white paint, 17-inch steel wheels, wipe clean vinyl flooring, fabric covered seats and minimal standard equipment, all designed to keep a lid on costs. Speaking of which, our SX 1.9 dual cab chassis has a list price of $40,700 plus on-road costs and a tray, of course. Now, that's an immediate upfront saving of $2,000 over the same D-Max model equipped with the larger 3-litre engine. Our test vehicle is equipped with a few optional extras, including a towing kit, general purpose aluminium tray and rubber floor mats, which with on-road costs adds up to a drive-away price of just over $50,000. For a full detailed review of this vehicle with full specifications, make sure you check it out on the website at carsguide.com.au. It may be a workhorse, but the body-coloured front bumper has a more upmarket look than the dark grey plastic bumpers usually found at this model grade. The latest SX range also brings a redesigned grille, but most would struggle to pick it given its two-tone black finish. A significant design feature is that the two-wheel drive's high-ride suspension matches that of four-wheel drive D-Max variants. That means it has the same ground clearance and the same approach and departure angles as the four-wheel drives. And that could be really handy for tradies trying to access rugged work sites or farmers trying to pick their way across some rocky creek crossings. There's no remote controlled diff lock as found on some rival two-wheel drive high riders, but it does come with electronic traction control. The cabin is a leather and chrome-free zone for good reason. But that doesn't come at the expense of basic comforts, so people of most shapes and sizes can find a comfortable driving position. That's due to a combination of assist handles on the A-pillars, a left footrest, and a hard-wearing urethane-rimmed steering wheel with height and reach adjustment. There's also numerous storage options for cups, bottles and small items, plus 12-volt and USB ports and a 4-speaker infotainment system. Now, this is controlled by a shrunken 7-inch touchscreen surrounded by thick borders, which serves no purpose other than to remind SX owners they're travelling economy class. In the rear seat there's also big assist handles on the B-pillars, and there's plenty of headroom and particularly leg room, even for tall people, given that I'm 186 centimetres and the driver's seat is in my position. Now, if you need to carry smaller crew members, there's ISOFIX and top tether fixtures, and there's also folding seat bases, which can swing up and be stored vertically if you need to access underfloor storage compartments or if you need more internal load space. There's also bottle holders and bins in each rear door, plus some useful comforts in the centre console, including air vents and a USB port. By our count, there's a total of 8 drink holders throughout the cabin to cater for the thirstiest of crews. Although it may seem illogical, the 1.9's 1-tonne plus payload is 80 kilograms higher than its 3-litre sibling. And that's simply because the 1.9's drivetrain is 80 kilograms less, so it can carry 80 kilograms more, given they share the same 3,000 kilogram GVM. And that could be a significant difference if carrying big payloads is important in your line of work. Isuzu's general purpose aluminium tray is, as its name suggests, a good all-rounder for this application. It's 1.8 metres long and almost as wide, with a sturdy head frame, rear window protection, 3 drop sides and a choice of internal and external load anchorage points. And, being aluminium, it's rust-free. The 1.9 is also rated to tow up to 3,000 kilograms of brake trailer, which is 500 kilograms or half a tonne less than the 3 litre. Now that could be significant if you regularly need to tow heavy things. But even so, the 1.9's 3-tonne rating would be ample for most job requirements. The 1.9 litre turbo diesel meets Euro 5 emission standards, so there's no need for the extra cost of AdBlue. Now this engine produces 110 kilowatts of power and 350 newton meters of torque, which is 30 kilowatts and 100 newton meters less than the 3 litre. Now Isuzu have partly balanced the scales in the 1.9's favour, not only with its lighter curb weight, but also slightly shorter gearing to compensate for the lower power and torque outputs. And, being smaller, it produces less emissions, so that's another saving. The engine is paired with a sweet-shifting 6-speed automatic, with fuel-saving torque converter lockup on 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th gears, plus sequential manual shifting if required. Overall, this is a well-designed drivetrain for work duties, even though the Auto's gear selection can be a bit indecisive at times when in cruise control mode. We covered just over 1,700 kilometres during our 3 months of ownership, which was a mix of city, suburban and highway driving, and included payload and towing tests. During that time, fuel economy averaged 9.6 litres per 100 kilometres, which compares well with Isuzu's official combined figure of 7 litres per 100 kilometres. Isuzu claims that's a 14% reduction in fuel consumption compared to the 3 litre. So that's another saving, and good solid single-digit economy for a workhorse weighing almost 2 tonnes being used in mostly city and suburban driving. And remember, they're our own figures based on fuel bowser and trip meter readings, rather than relying solely on the dash display. You know, the 1.9's performance isn't as different as you might expect. It certainly matches the 3 litre for refinement, and the shorter gearing allows the engine to operate at the slightly higher RPM it needs to stay within its sweet spot. It has 85% of its maximum pulling power available across a very broad torque band, which showcases, its excellent flexibility. Fact is, it may be small, but it's certainly not gutless to drive. It's also relatively quiet. It has good steering feel and braking and handling if driven at the sensible speeds it's designed for. Now, the rear suspension, the heavy-duty suspension that's unique to D-Max cab chassis models, is undeniably firm when you haven't got a decent load on board. However, that's pretty typical of any ute with a leaf spring live rear axle. We put its load carrying to the test with more than 1 tonne on the tray, which was just under its legal payload limit. As expected, the ride quality became much smoother while remaining stable and sure-footed. The 1.9 engine moved this load with surprising ease, particularly when climbing hills. We also tested its towing ability with one of the latest 20-foot composite caravans from award-winning Melbourne-based manufacturer Crusader. The van's tear weight of almost 2.4 tonnes was well within the 1.9's capabilities. However, that doesn't necessarily mean it will do the same with the maximum 3 tonnes on the tow ball. It may be a basic workhorse, but that doesn't mean Isuzu has scrimped on safety. The entire D-Max range was awarded the maximum 5-star ANCAP rating in 2022 and comes equipped with 8 airbags, including full-length side curtains, plus a front centre airbag to protect front seat occupants from clashing heads in a collision. It also has a suite of the latest active safety features, including autonomous emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping, trailer sway control, plus blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, reversing camera and more, although there's no parking sensors. The D-Max 1.9 is backed by a bumper-to-bumper warranty of 6 years or 150,000 kilometres, plus up to 7 years of roadside assistance if serviced at a participating Isuzu Ute dealer. Service intervals are 12 months or 15,000 kilometres, and Isuzu offers cap price servicing for the first 7 years, which totals $3,359 or $480 per year, which is cheaper than the 3 litre and yet another cost saving. At the start of this video, my mission was to find out if Isuzu's claim of cheaper ownership costs without sacrificing workhorse ability was valid for the 1.9. So Let's do a brief recap of what I found. Compared to its 3 litre D-Max equivalent, the 1.9 litre has a lower purchase price, lower official fuel consumption, lower emissions, and lower servicing costs. Yet it can carry a crew of 5, haul more than 1 tonne of payload, and tow up to 3 tonnes of trailer. It's also good to drive, with a firm but tolerable unladen ride, and comes with benchmark safety, long warranty, and a reputation for robust reliability. So if I was a farmer, a tradie, a small business owner, or a fleet buyer looking for a high quality, dual cab chassis diesel workhorse with a strong focus on ownership costs, I reckon the 1.9 litre D-Max will be top of my shopping list. And remember, you can find the full safety specs in the detailed written review at carsguide.com.au.